So, psionics is silly. Why do I say it's silly? What do you mean? What I mean is that it doesn't, it's not all what it seems to be. It's not all what it says it is to be. It's not practical. It's not practical and it has no true applications, honestly. And there's a false expectation that, you train for psionics, and you'll end up, obtaining some sort of great powers or great abilities and be able to do all these so amazing things and, reach some sort of higher level in a sense. And that's just not how it works. It's just not what happens. I know people who have, and I myself included, practiced psionics or its counterpart, if that's even the correct term to call it, radical key, which it itself is just an experiment of taking traditional chi knowledge and mixing it with psionics to try and create, a more creative or a more creative system, that's just, a little bit out of the boundaries, a little bit more flexible type. And in theory, right? In theory, it sounds good. In actual practicality and applications and results, no. And that's the same issue for psionics. Is in theory, it sounds great. It sounds great in theory. In results and applications, no. It does not deliver. You know what I'm saying? For all the bang that it has, this popularity that it's had over the years, it does not deliver at all. Like I said, I myself and many people I know for years have put in years of practice and time. So 7 years, 12 years, 20 years, 30 years, and ongoing. Some people practice it their whole fucking life growing up. And what do these people have to show for it? A small effect. What do they do? They move an object a little bit, create some sort of small effect. In a sense, it's to be brutally honest, in a sense, it's just a party trick. In a sense, you train years to develop yourself and only be able to show a party trick. You only have a party trick to show for it. And especially there's a lot of kids that get into psionics, this energy stuff, and they get into it with the expectation that they'll be able to reach, some sort of incredible heights, and be able to perform, crazy things, right? Or like do some sort of, I don't know, like X-Men type shit out the movies, and that's just not what's going to happen. To be honest with you, it's just not what's going to happen from a guy that's put years of his life into it. Well, I've put at least 7 to 8 years into it. Friends who put at least 12 to 20 or 30 years into it, right? It's just not going to happen. And that's because psionics is incomplete. It's not a complete art. It's incomplete. It's broken, in a sense. What it is now is it's silly. You know what I'm saying? It's non-applicable. It's non-applicable. Has no purpose, and the results it gives are just a party trick, in a sense. The results you obtain from. So think about that. Say you're practicing psionics now for how many years, right? Now, see yourself 7 or 8 years from today. See yourself 12 years from today. See yourself 20 or even 30 years from today, right? And after all those years, right, at the most, you have the show is a party trick. At the most, you have to show is being able to move something a bit, or being able to cause a small effect. At the most now, and that's the most, right? And then you have the other side of the psionics, which these people, they don't even believe half the shit that they say they do. They don't even believe half the shit that they claim that they practice, right? They don't even believe half the shit because they spend all their time all day worried about skeptics. They spend all their time trying to prove to skeptics that what they do is real, that they're not crazy, and that they actually that this stuff, that this psionic stuff, and that their psionic abilities are legit, right? And it's like you spend all your time trying to prove to some and the people that your little party trick is legit. It's just, and it's like that's not it's not that convincing. Like, it's just not that convincing. You know, it's a waste of time. In a sense. It's really a waste of time. It's just silly. You know. So think about that. You know. You train, you put in years to only achieve some little small effect, or, and it's basically a useless skill that you cannot use and will not ever be useful in any part of your life. And then you can also try to prove to some skeptics that your useless skill, your useless ability, is legit. You know, have fun with that, man. That's why psionics is silly. It's incomplete. You know what I'm saying? It's popularity though. It has had a popularity that has risen since the 2000s. It has risen since the 2000s. And that's around the time radical key was also created. And when this stuff happened, that's when you see all the kids coming in. You see all the younger people coming into it, you know. But it's just, like I said, it's good. It sounds great in theory. And at practical applications, no. Results, no. That's why psionics is silly.